What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Swole, TCG, and we're out here with that fire, that heat, that sauce, boys. Once again, yo, listen, man, I've been cooking up some stuff for you. All right, listen, yo, I got a lot of stuff in the mail. All right, so we got a lot of bills waiting on things to come in the mail. I got fire. I'll talk about it at the end of this deck profile. But right now, what I wanted to do while you boys waited, because I already had the cards on hand, and I wanted to play around with it because I heard a couple people talking about it a little bit, but no one's really experimented too heavily with this, is Rescue Ace Mitsurugi, all right? This deck's crazy going first. So naturally, I built a side geared towards going second because I don't really need to side anything in if I'm going first. That's how crazy this deck is. This deck is meant to go first, so, but it's absolutely oppressive. It's awesome. I'll go over why the ratios inside the profile and everything. It's a lot different than what other people are probably playing at ratios. It's a little bit unique, but it's a crazy deck, yo. It's a crazy deck, and I could absolutely, you could definitely easily get your invite with this deck, but I could see somebody topping the event with this 100%. Like, especially if they're good pilots on both the engines, like, you could definitely top an event with this deck because the amount of power that this deck has is just like insane. The amount of recursion that you get, obviously, like I played some Rescue Ace back in my day. I know some stuff, so you know, but it's pretty wild, guys. It's pretty wild. But before we jump into this video, boys, have y'all got your steps in? Have y'all gone outside today? All right, did y'all breathe in that beautiful fall weather? All right, we got this beautiful fall weather out here, man. Go outside, man. Go outside, enjoy the weather, walk around, man. Walk around your neighborhood, take this video with you, enjoy that beautiful air outside. Once you watch the video, once it's finished, you go home, you did your activity for the day, all right? That's all it takes. That's all it takes to better yourselves, guys. That's it. A simple walk outside is gonna help you improve your cardiovascular health. It's gonna help improve your circulation. And if you have injuries, guys, that is gonna make your injuries a lot better because it's circulating new blood flow into there, all right? It's help cleaning out your body, guys. So it's gonna better you just by doing a simple walk. And even more so, it's gonna speed up your metabolism, guys, all right? Because you know what, if you're just being a little bit more active than you usually are, it's gonna benefit your metabolism. Your metabolism's gonna pick up, all right? Now, that does not mean go smash some cakes right after you went for it because I just did some activity. I need a little treat, you know, I need a little snacky snack because I just went outside and went, no. No, that does not mean that, all right? You want to stay active, all right? You know, naturally, you know, I'd love to help you guys out nutrition-wise. So if you guys ever need help like that, man, feel free to reach out to me, man. I'm all about bettering people, all right? You know, so I love helping people. I used to be a 320-pound beast when I got out of the Army. Fun fact, guys, I'm giving you the deets. If you guys are up right now watching this, you know, crazy homemade little deck profile right now, I'm giving y'all some deets, all right? I used to be like 320 pounds when I got out of the Army. All I did was drink and eat. I probably worked out like 3 times a week, but I didn't do no cardio. I didn't do none of that. You know, I was just in the slums, all right? I was in the slums. I was down bad, all right? I just put on massive amounts of weight, all right? You know, maybe if I'm amazing at my edits, I'll put a picture of what I looked like and then my stage shot right there, and I'm gonna freeze it right there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to edit that, yo. I'm still working on my edits, boys, yo. But listen, that's for real. That's for real though, you know. And that's why I'm so passionate about bettering people, making sure everybody stays active and betters themselves, because I changed my life around. Bodybuilding saved my life getting out of the Army and just helped me become a better person all around. So you guys don't have to be bodybuilders. By all means, y'all don't have to be bodybuilders. Y'all don't even have to hit the gym, man. But bettering yourself just by going for a beautiful walk outside, enjoying this weather, getting some scenery in, maybe just walking around a park. If you got a park, if you're in the city and you don't have like the best neighborhood, find a park, man. There's a park everywhere, man. Just go walk in the park. Like, it's just that easy, all right? And it's only gonna better you. But if you're my soulies, yo, once you finish that gym, hop on that treadmill, boys. Hop on that Stairmaster. Get your cardio in, all right? Cardio is just as important as the workout, all right? If you have any goals, it doesn't matter whether you're trying to put on size, if you're trying to cut, if you're trying to tone, It doesn't matter. You're trying to strength train. It does not matter. You have to do your cardio, all right? Just a little bit. Watching this 20, 30-minute video, you're on the stairs, you're on the treadmill, you're watching it, and once the video is over, your cardio is done. Mission complete. That's it. That's it, boys. All right, that's all it takes, and it's gonna better you so much. So make sure you guys get the cardio in, all right? And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go ahead, without further ado, Rescue Ace Mitsurugi. Let's jump in it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump on in. First, we'll start with the engines, then we'll go non-engine, extra deck, and then side deck. All right, so for the first engine, we're going to go over the Rescue Ace package, all right? We are on 1 turb, 1 preventer. Guys, we had to make room for everything, all right? So unfortunately, it's 1 preventer, 1 fire engine. That is it for our one-ofs, all right? So we're playing 1 of each. No, we are not playing fire attacker. I don't feel like fire attacker is that good. Yeah, you could argue it digs into the other engine, but to me, it is not that good. I'd rather have this guy and start summoning out on my Rescue Ace plays and just getting more access into my hydrant as possible. So fire engine for me is just 20 times better. That is it for the one-ofs. Next up, we are playing a lot of 2-ofs in this build. We're on 2 Impulse. Impulse is just a phenomenal card for the Rescue Ace matchup, and it's also an interruption on your opponent. You know, when typically you activate an Impulse, your opponent interacts with this card and they're like, oh, they're just on Rescue Ace, or maybe they'll think you're on like some kind of Vanquish Soul, which is like cool. It's like awesome. You just wasted your Ash because now I'm about to Mitsu combo on you. This is gonna be a heated topic, bro. People are gonna hate me for this. We're on 2 airlifters. Guys, we are playing the Mitsurugi engine. We're gonna have more cards that we can normal summon, so I don't want too many normal summons. I know this guy is the full combo right here, but we already have a lot in this deck. We already do a lot. We have a lot of ways to get to what we need to do. So 2 airlifter is absolutely fine. I would not play more personally. Yes, you could run this at 3, maybe cut a hydrant down to 1. Which brings me to my next card is 2 hydrants. Yes, we got the OG Ultras because I just love the look. But you could cut down the hydrant to 1 and make it a 3 airlifter. But personally, having the second hydrant does come up quite a bit. You want to make sure that you have access to hydrants, so I'd rather have 2 and 2. For the spells, we're on 1 copy of Rhoda. Obviously, this is your 3rd copy of your airlifter, but it can also be an impulse depending on the situation. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the airlifter. For the spells, we're on 2 copies of Emergency. Typically, I play this at 3 of because this is a phenomenal way to dodge Imperm, and it's just a crack card. I mean, this is one of my favorite cards inside the whole entire archetype. But we obviously need room for our second engine, so we're only playing 2 copies of Emergency. And then we are playing the big 4. Obviously, we set 4. These cards are just absolutely cracked. I don't know how many people out there know what these cards do. If you're a Rescue Ace fan, I don't think I need to explain. If you've been familiar, I mean, Rescue Ace has been around, so I feel like a lot of people would be familiar with it, but these cards are very, very useful. Rescue, being able to snipe a card out of your opponent's graveyard, is literally a spell card Monster Reborn if you have Hydrant on the field. So this card is just absolutely cracked. So it's just phenomenal. And then, I mean, Alert is just obviously, I mean, it's another Rhoda for you with Hydrant. And then Contain and Extinguish just do put in so much work into this format. So, I mean, Contain, just being able to absolutely obliterate your opponent. I mean, them not being able to get into their snatchies or anything like that. I mean, this card is just cracked, man. So, I mean, there's not much to say about this. You know, we set 4. Then for the Mitsu engine, we'll go ahead and start off with, I have these a little bit out of order here. Sorry about this, guys. A little delay. Let me get the monsters up front. Thought I had these in order. Obviously, 3 Habas. That's pretty much the God card. You got to max it out. You need 3. 3 Habas is pretty standard here. We're on the 1 Mirakumo and 1 Futsu. All right, so obviously Futsu is just crazy cracked. We want to have access to it. Mirakumo is just also absolutely phenomenal here. But with having the second engine, we can't play a second copy as much as I'd love to. You have to make cuts when you're playing two big engines, you have to make some cuts. And then we are on 2 copies of Saji and 1 copy of Kusanagi. All right, Kusanagi is always needed. Saji is obviously needed. People are probably going to wonder, why aren't you playing the third one? Guys, I'm not a fan of the third one. I'm not going to lie to you. If this was a pure build, I'd absolutely be a fan. But I'd rather have another copy of Saji, being able to get access to ritual spell as much as possible. I'd rather see Saji than anything, especially if they stop Haba or something like that. In other builds, yes, I would typically run the 3. Maybe I'd even run Night Sword Serpent. When you guys see my other Mitsu builds, I will cover that and why I run it that way. But for this specific build, I mean, my main objective isn't normal summon. I just need another name in case I Haba with Saji and I send it, but I always want access to Saji. I just feel like Saji is just 20 times better. And we don't really need the other guy right now in this build. But you can absolutely sub a Saji if you want to play all 3. It's not bad. This is just personal preference in my opinion. I'd rather have the 2 Sajis. I'd rather see a Saji in my hand than anything. Seeing the other guy in my hand just kind of ass. Even though he gets you to Haba, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. In other builds, I love having the 3rd. I love having the 3rd guy. I love having Night Sword Serpent, and you guys will see that inside other builds, but with this build, this is just how I prefer to have it. For the spell lineup, we are on 3 copies of Pre-Prep. Pre-Prep's just an absolute god card. We need to have it. Maximizing that at 3, make sure your opponent has to interact with that card. If you don't interact with that card, I don't know what they're doing with their life. 3 copies of Mitsurugi Prayers, the obvious god card and the most likely card to get hidden on the next ban list. This card is just absolutely insane. We max out insane cards. And then our one-ofs, we're on 1 Purification. Purification is a god card. Like I said, this build is geared for going going first. So playing the Purification along with setting 4, so literally setting 5 backer is just like wild. You stop the board breakers and then you just have more board breakers and crazy follow-up with the Rescue Ace engine. It's just absolutely absurd. 1 ritual, that's all you need. 1 mirror. Very unfortunate when you draw this with pre-prep, but with a heavier build like this, you don't have to worry about that too much, as much. And then for the non-engine is pretty small here. We play the 3 god cards when in Rome, right? Shifter, we don't really care too much about Shifter, but a lot of decks really care about Shifter. Yeah, it does impact us a little bit, but Rescues can kind of play around Shifter, Mitsu can kind of play around Shifter, but what can't play around Shifter? Draco Tail, Yummy, Fiendsmith, Orcus, all these deck types cannot play around Shifter. So that's why if you can play Shifter, you play Shifter, right? I don't think I need to say it. I despise Shifter with a passion, right? I'm not a fan of Shifter. I absolutely hate Shifter. But that is why we play this card, because this card is just insane. The fact that this card is still here and they got rid of D-Barrier just blows my mind. Like, D-Barrier was at least for 1 turn. The fact that this lingers for 2 turns is just insane. Like that's unfair. Like, this card deserved the ban, all right? D-Barrier did nothing wrong, all right? I've played through D-Barrier so many times. When I get shifted, there's been very few times I was able to play through Shifter when I was on Azamina or Fiendsmith. But I could play through D-Barrier. I just set up shenanigans and wait for their turn, and then I go crazy, stall them with hand traps, and then my turn, and then I'm good to go, and I can fuse again, and I can XYZ or whatever. But with Shifter, you're not doing shit. I can't believe this card's at 1, but he banned D-Barrier. Like, that just blows my mind. But hey, listen, that's a talk for another day. You know, it is what it is. I'm not mad. Called by the Grave, obviously we want to stop Droll. This deck loses a little bit to Droll, but not too much. I mean, Rescue Ace summons from deck, so it's kind of free. And then Talents is a god card. When you build your deck, this is the first card you put in. I'm not kidding. The amount of times I've seen this card and won the game is just absurd. I think 9 out of 10 times I see this card, I win the game. Three copies of Ash.
it's a fire. We can add it back through our extra deck because we play the Salman Great. So it's pretty free. Being able to recycle an ash is just absolutely phenomenal. And then obviously we are playing some God cards in here, as you will see, which is 3 Dominus Impulse. We're playing Fires and Darks. We don't care about anything else. So we play Impulse. You can play Impulse, you play Impulse. With our engine being so high, we needed a hard, impactful card, so we are on 3 copies of Super Poly. Most Rescue Ace builds did play Super Poly. You still play Super Poly with this build because we have limited non-engine slots. This deck just cooks going first, so having a card that's going to help break the board so you can push through game 1 is just phenomenal. And then, as you will see in the side, we side into that. Let me get a quick count here. I think I was at 42. All right, so 45 cards. So this was a 45 card deck. Then we'll go ahead and jump on into the extra deck here. We are on 1 Anima, 1 Sunlight Wolf, 1 SP, 1 IP. Pretty standard lineup here for a Rescue Ace package. And same thing with a Mitsu package. You need your IP. Oh, excuse me, boys. Excuse me. Hopefully I can edit that out. I can't. We're on 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Dynamundo. Quick note on Dynamundo, guys. We are playing Impulse, so please pay attention. Dynamundo is an Earth. I got cheated at an event before because my opponent activated Dominus in hand, and then later on, like a couple turns later, he went into Dynamundo and tried to use his effect, but he couldn't. But he did, and I didn't catch it. He didn't say anything, and it resolved. So you guys got to pay attention to that. Really pay attention, especially with the Dominus cards. Make sure your opponent's not doing any illegal activations, and also make sure you don't do any illegal activations. You are playing Dynamundo. Dynamundo is a phenomenal card, but if you use Impulse from the hand, make sure you realize that you can't use Dynamundo's effect. We are on 1 copy of Dark. Obviously, all the Mitsu variants are running out there. We want to have Dark. Dark is a nice knight. 2 copies of the Goat. We want to run 2 Princess. We're playing Fire deck. Fire deck loves Princess. The best OTK line in the game is Atlantis and Salamangreat. And then for our Super Poly targets, 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Pred Plant, 1 Garua, and 1 Earth Golem at Ignister. You guys are probably wondering why I'm not playing Secretarian Dragon. I don't need it. I don't need Secretarian Dragon to beat Dracotail. Like I said before, you guys can absolutely, if I would side anything out for a Secretarian, you can side this out for a Secretarian. You don't really need this. I just wanted these lineup to cover more matches. I fear Malice. Malice is still out there. There's always that random guy that's going to be on Malice, so having an answer for a Malice deck is always going to be necessary, so I just throw this in there. I'm more scared about running into a random Malice deck than I am about running into the millions of Dracotail decks, because I can play through Dracotail fairly easily. Malice is a lot harder. I want a strong answer, strong out for Malice. And that is it for the extra deck. We'll go ahead and jump on into the side, and you'll see what I mean here. Essentially what we do for the side is we side out a good bit of our Rescue Ace package, but we are on 3 copies of Droll, 3 copies of Dark Ruler, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. We want some back row removal. A lot of back row decks out there. 3 copies of Perulia. This should be Fua. I don't have my extra Fuas yet. Once that new 5D set comes out, I will buy like 3 of those and have my common Fuas so I can start doing extra deals. My Fuas are still inside my pure canine build because I'm still testing with this build. that build right now. But these are Fuas, all right? These are not Perulias. I promise you they're not Perulias, they're Fuas. And then the last card is extremely spicy, guys. The last 3 of is extremely spicy. And you guys are going to thank me for this. If you guys stayed for this portion, you guys are going to thank me, all right? Boom, boom. Liberator Ito. Guys, this card destroys Mitsuyumi. This card destroys Mitsuyumi. This is a free board break. And guys, what is it? What is it right there? It's a level 8 what? Reptile. What can you do with level 8 reptiles? You can ritual summon. Because the only stipulations on here, if I can get the focus right. Come on, camera. There you go. This face-up card cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link summon. So it only restricts you from extra deck. Essentially, with using this card, rituals are not from extra deck. So you can easily activate a mirror, tribute this guy after you run over. You summon this guy, you run over whatever the problem child is. Maybe the wasted interaction because you didn't realize this guy's unaffected by literally all their monster effects. And then they waste an interaction on this card. And then you just go into battle and you charge over like a herald or something like that. And then you just go into the next turn, you go into the main phase and then fucking tribute this guy off with your mirror and then summon out your summon out your Mitsu guys and just start Mitsu playing like crazy. So this card is absolutely cracked, guys. It's a level 8. Like I don't know why Mitsu players aren't playing this card. Also, this isn't out for Liger. Like this isn't out for Liger, guys. It just runs over. It's a 4,000 beater. It's a 4,000 beater. Like you summon this, run over your Liger. GG's, bro. Now I'm gonna Mitsu combo on you. Like guys, this card does so much. I don't know why people are sleeping on this card. If you're playing Mitsu, you play this card. Naturally, Mitsu's gonna get hit very soon. So I mean, once Mitsu gets hit, this card's gonna be irrelevant again. No one's gonna play it. There's no point in playing it once Mitsu gets hit. But if you're playing a Mitsu deck, I don't know why you don't have 3 of these in your side. I really don't. I don't know why anybody wouldn't put 3 of these in their side. So that's the spice. That's the sauce I'm giving to you boys right now. If you stayed, you deserve that treat. But that is it for the deck profile. Let me know what you boys think. Peace.
All right, boys, I hope you guys enjoyed that Rescue Ace Mitsurugi deck profile. You know, I got so much on the way for you guys. You know, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. You know, I love strategizing with you guys. You know, you guys hit me up, ask me about this idea. What do you think about this deck option? You know, and then other people are even answering those comments too, being like, yo, this and this and this. This is what we're doing. This is the community we're building, a community that supports and helps grow and develop all of us as better Yu-Gi-Oh players and better people all around, all right? Especially if y'all are, you know, getting right, all right? So, guys, listen, we got so much on the way. I got so much cooking up for you guys. I'm literally waiting on so many cards in the mail right now because I had to get these little random commons that I just didn't have and my locals didn't have and my other locals didn't have. So I was like, nobody had these cards, so I was like, damn, now I gotta do all these little penny card shipments. So I'm waiting on all these random ass cards, and it's like the stupidest cards. It's like $10 worth of cards, but it's like 20 cards. So I'm waiting on all these to get a lot of these deck profiles out. I'm hoping some of them come in because I do also want to do, I want to do pure Mitsurugi for you guys the proper way, all right? Because I killed pure Mitsurugi, and then I got Mitsurugi Primate, guys. I cracked this shit wide open. Mitsurugi Primate's gonna be crazy, all right? Y'all wait for this deck profile, all right? I might actually rock it, you know? I might put down my canines for a second and rock Mitsurugi Primate because I was cooking that hard on it, all right? Y'all already know I love my Primate Fiendsmith, so Mitsurugi Primate is so much fun, all right? It is so much fun, it is so impressive, and I'm playing some fire vanillas that just go absolutely crazy. Shout out to Brenton for finding me my level 8 that I needed. Yo, but listen, guys. This deck is wild, so I can't wait to do that one. And like I said, I'm literally waiting on my vanillas. Like, that's crazy. I'm waiting on vanillas, but I can't wait to get into that deck profile with you guys. It's gonna be so much fun. And then we also have a bunch of canine variants too. I also have a Mitsu Hazamina. We have Canine Soulful Cord I'm working on. I need to get the deck cord for Soulful Cord, but I know a lot of people have talked about it. And I've even gone on YouTube myself to see what other people are cooking up, so I get ideas because I brainstorm off of all you guys brainstorm off of me, we brainstorm together, you know. That's how we become better and keep challenging ourselves, right? We just keep throwing ideas out there. but it's not really out there. You know, I haven't seen that many sulfur cord, especially not combos. So I'm gonna deep dive into this because I know there's been a lot of interest in sulfur cord, and I think once Mitsurugi gets hit, I think sulfur cord is gonna be a pretty fire engine because I know Yummy's using it as well. And I think that will be a little bit more relevant into the later formats. So I do want to go ahead and just break down sulfur cord and go over K9 sulfur cord because I think K9 is just better than Yummy. Personally, in my opinion, I think Yummy and Draco Tail are one trick pony. I mean, Draco Tail is just like, it's like, I wish it was so much better than what it is. I really do. Like, I really do. Because it's such a cool engine. It's such a cool archetype, but just, it does nothing. I hate saying that. I really hate saying that, but it does nothing. It really doesn't. Like, when I know my opponent's on Draco Tail, I'm like, yes. It feels like a buy. It feels like I got to buy. Like, I'm just like going through the motions. I'm like, yep, set your trap. All right, cool. All right, so now I'm going to break your board. Yo, I'm sorry if you Draco Tail players, man. I'm messing with y'all. I'm messing with y'all. Yo, Draco Tail is a phenomenal deck. You do have to know your interactions. If you don't know your interactions, they'll cook you easily. But I just know Draco Tail so well because I really wanted to play it myself. But I fell in love with K9, so like, it's just easy for me to play the Draco Tail variants. It's easy for me to conquer them. So it is what it is. But I do want to keep showing you guys all these different deck profiles. We got so much out there that is just absolutely crazy. Tempai K9. I'm going to make a blind going second Tempai K9 list that's just going to be cracked. So I'm going to work on that one too for you guys. But I got a bunch of builds on the way, so stay tuned. I will be doing combo videos for a lot of the archetypes that a lot of people don't really know about and that are not really out there on YouTube. So I'll take advantage of that and make sure that you guys are informed. And then if you guys have more information, hit it in the comments. Guys, if you got friends, you got family, you got people at your locals that are creative or just need some inspiration, whether it's mentally or it's physically, send them to the channel, guys. Let's get them right. Let's get them active in this channel. Let's get them help in this community. You guys do your part. Comment in here. Send your comments. Help grow. Throw your feedback. There is no such thing as a crazy idea or a stupid idea. I promise you. Well, there's some, but sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you can't determine what is like a really smart and out there move and what's really stupid. Sometimes it can be like right there, be like, you know what, this is kind of stupid, but wait a second, this is actually pretty crazy. So if you have an idea, hit it in the comments, man. There's no such thing as a stupid. I will read every single comment. I will do my best to reply to every comment. And I make sure that if you guys see comments too and you guys find something interesting, cook up with each other. That's what this community is about, guys. And once we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to be doing our first giveaway on this channel. I'm so excited for that. I have no idea what I'm giving away, but it's going to be something actually meta relevant, meta impactful, and it's not going to be some stupid like token or some promo. It's going to be something legit. All right, like my playset in Norway, I still for some reason have not moved. So maybe I'll do that with a lineup of staples. I don't know. I'm gonna make sure it's something that's gonna actually help you. Whoever gets this, giveaway, is gonna better them overall. Whether they sell it and get some money to fuel the next deck, or if this is part of the engine that they needed for the next deck, I don't know. It doesn't matter, but I'm gonna make sure that it's actually something good to give back to you guys because I want you guys to be like, yes, and feel blessed, all right? Because I want to bless you guys, all right? So. But with that being said, guys, let's keep growing this community. Let's keep growing it. And I hope you guys stay tuned. We got a lot more on the way. And guys, oh my God, there's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about, boys. Listen, they finally announced when we're getting our Dark Magician support. February, my God card, the Azamina God card is coming out, yo. That Dark Magician support makes Azamina to the moon, all right? To the moon. So get your Azamina stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do too. I'll throw in an Azamina core because Lord knows I got like 50 million wanteds and 50 million witches and all that stuff. So I got that all day, every day. So maybe I'll throw in an Azamina core on top of the Norways. I don't know. I'll do something stupid because I love giving back to the community. I love giving back to people just in general. But listen, let me know what you guys think. I can't wait. We got so much on the way. Lots to think about, lots to talk about. Stay tuned for the next deck profile.